We are
MEDnBlack. This platform is aimed to share our unique experiences
and to provide mentorship for those aspiring to pursue a career in medicine.
3 stories to reach one goal. Welcome to
MEDnBlack.
Hey y'all, my name is Justin. I came from a small town, about 2,000. I took my MCAT 4 times and I applied to medical school 4 times. And here's my story. Now, of course, we got to start at the beginning. Like I said, I was from a small town of about 2,000 in South Georgia. And from there, it just took a winding path to get where I am today. I went to Georgia Southern for my undergrad education, graduated with a chemistry degree, but I was not prepared to apply to medical school, in my opinion. I struggled at the beginning of undergrad mightily. I took calculus and was not ready for that coming from a small school. I didn't even have the access to that kind of things once I got to undergrad. So I took a little bit of time to really rethink my path, get everything in order. And when I graduated, I actually started working for a chemical oil plant. And when I say oil, I'm not talking about the stuff out of the Gulf or the things that go in your car. I'm talking about cooking oil. And I know that's a little bit different. I didn't even know this type of industry existed back then. But I applied for the job and I got it. I wanted to make some extra money. I wanted to be able to pay for all the materials I needed for the MCAT because I had not even taken the MCAT up to this point. And so once I started working, started making some money, and then I started looking into all the things that are required to even apply to medical school. And I was overwhelmed. I didn't even know what I was doing, what direction to go in. Didn't have any mentorship going from high school to undergrad, even through undergrad. So I was just fumbling around in the dark. So I took the MCAT that September after I graduated from undergrad. And my first score was a 493. And I had no idea what that score even meant at the time. So I tried to apply to medical school in late September of 2016. Now, for those of you who may know now, that's a terrible time to try to apply to medical school. Again, I didn't know, so I did it. I did it anyway. And I didn't get in anywhere, but I did apply to one master's program as a sort of a backup plan. Didn't think I would have to use it, ended up having to use it. I got in at Kansas City University, and I flew out to Kansas City, Missouri for the first time in 2017, that next year. Got into the program, and I started. And it was a rough time even then. Another bit of culture shock coming from South Georgia, then going to Georgia Southern, then moving out of state, going to another big city in the Midwest. Didn't know what I was doing. And I got through the program though. It was a great time. I met some great people. And it took a while to really get my footing. And I still didn't feel like I was ready to apply to medical school. I finished that master's program out in Kansas City and I decided to come back home. There were a lot of circumstances that led to that decision. And again, I was not ready to apply to medical school. So I took that time. I came back home. It was December of 2018. Came back home. And then I reapplied to medical school. Didn't get in again. But I did get into another master's program at Morehouse School of Medicine, where I met these two.
What's up, man?
How you doing? How you doing?
Yeah, these two. Those are the two I was talking about.
Yes. Great story.
Appreciate you.
I loved it.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
What would you say was your biggest motivation? You know, you went through undergrad, which was difficult, you said.
Yeah.
Then you did college, which was... Oh, sorry. Undergrad is college. Yikes. All right, let me start over. So you went through undergrad, which was difficult, and then you did your master's. You worked at an oil company. Mm-hmm. So you're applying, and you keep not getting in. So what made you keep on going?
Well, back then, Like I said, I didn't know what I was doing as far as applying to medical school. But I did still have that drive because I'm seeing ways that I can do it. I'm reading about these different ways that it's possible, that it should be able to be happening. But I think the biggest motivator for me was I needed to find, that one piece. I knew I was missing that one piece. And I knew once I found it, that was going to be the pusher, the thing that got me over the hump. When I found that out to be apply early. I was applying too late. That was the only thing that was keeping me back.
So how'd you do with the first master's that you had to do another one?
I did well, but one piece was missing. I did not do well in anatomy.
Ooh.
That first semester in anatomy out in Kansas City, I made a C.
Damn.
Yeah. And for those of you, if you're going to apply to a master's program to try to do some supplemental things, you can't make a C. They'll look at that like, if you make a C there, you won't do well in medical school because those things really translate.
Yeah.
Those master's programs really translate, so they look at that heavily. Now I retook that class, but
What'd you get?
I got an A the second
Oh,
time.
that's good. See,
Okay.
improvement.
That's all that matters.
That's all that matters. 'Cause
All right, so you were saying you did your master's and then you applied to Morehouse and then you met these wonderful people, What happened then?
Then, we went through the master's program together.
Okay.
Great
time.
Some of the best times of my life.
Okay.
You can't swell people's head up too much.
Okay.
As you can see people. But yeah, I mean, we had a great time, learning and, navigating the medical school process and applying and all that. It was a big learning experience, not just in school wise, but also in life, finally, getting over that hump and getting over that hump with people that, you made lifelong friends with.
So if you guys remember, Dee got in after her first year.
Exactly.
So we were in the trenches together during our second year. How much pressure did you feel that second year knowing that, if we don't get in this year, then we got to apply again after graduation and then go through the whole motion again. So how did that play a part?
Listen.
During COVID.
During COVID, I think that was a big piece.
Peak of COVID.
That was a hard time for all of us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Easy for you. You got into school.
Alone?
Hey, man. Ain't nobody tell you that.
Should have deferred. But
Hey.
we over that now.
Okay.
A little bit. I think it was tough because if you don't get in this year, what do you do to prepare to get in the next year? Because nothing's going to change at that point. Like, I wasn't going to go through a third master's.
No.
God forbid, I wasn't going to do that.
Who's paying for that?
Exactly. I was already in enough debt from 2. So going into that second year, I'm like, this is it. I applied as soon as the applications open. I mean, from previous knowledge, that was the first thing I did. And then I made sure I retook the MCAT for that fourth time.
So during the masters, sorry, I cut you off.
You really did.
I
Just
did.
cut him off.
I was about to get some good information.
Before he goes into that, like, what kind of like change did you get from undergrad to the masters, like in terms of like mentorship and guidance? Because we got a lot of guidance during this program.
Yeah.
That we could have never gotten at another program. So what kind of guidance did you get after our first year? Because you didn't say that we interviewed our first year. So give us that.
So in Kansas City, of course, in my undergrad, I did not have the mentorship. Even in high school, didn't have that mentorship. Getting into Kansas City, I made sure to surround myself with people that had been through the process. My best friend out in Kansas City had actually already gotten into medical school.
Okay.
And so she knew what, she was doing. And I, piggybacked on her, hey, what do I need to do? What do I need to be putting on this application? What does my letters of recommendation need to look like? What does my personal statement need to be looking like? And that, pushed me forward in its own right. But then once I got to Morehouse, it, turned up another level because now we have professors that are looking out for us. We're having administration looking out for us. So, just surrounding yourself with people that know what it takes to get into the position you want to be in.
And that want you to be in that position.
Exactly. that was another big piece. You know, you want to surround yourself with people that see yourself where you are and can push you to be even better.
So, you were waitlisted, right?
Yes, waitlisted.
How did that feel?
Nerve-wracking, to say the least. It's the worst feeling waiting on acceptance from the place you know you're supposed to be.
How many times were you waitlisted?
I was waitlisted three times.
So
3 times in my final 2 years of applications. From, of course, 2 different schools. Morehouse twice, and then another school back home.
So he got waitlisted twice along with me. We interviewed the same kind of path and everything. So he got waitlisted his first year like me in the master's program. And then our second year we got waitlisted again. So, you know, after they tell you like why you didn't get in your first year, and then you apply again your second year with all the advice that they've given you, you're improving on grades, everything they want to see, yada, yada, yada. And then they waitlisted you again, and graduation's approaching. How did all those emotions, you know, how did you stay sane? Because I wasn't. I was not sane.
A lot of prayer and fasting, I'll tell you that much. It was a tough process. It was definitely a tough process. I can't even give you the best advice besides remaining, humble yourself. You know, you're in this position maybe for a reason.
It's a very humbling experience.
It is.
I bet.
It is. Like I said, I can't tell you one way or the other to feel, or it makes you feel like you're inadequate. But you also have to take a step back, and it's like, if it's meant to be, it'll definitely be. And I know that's horrible to hear.
It's awful.
It's horrible to hear until you get there.
Yeah.
But that's exactly what it is.
Okay, 2 questions. First question. Well, I already know the answer to the first question, but I feel like the people should know. So I'm going to ask anyway. Was there a moment where, while you're still on the wait list, you knew that you were going to get in? Like, instead of oh my goodness, I'm waiting. Was there a moment where something just happened where you're like, okay, there's no way I'm not getting accepted. It's just a matter of when. That's question number 1. All right?
Okay.
And then question number 2, what was the first thing you did, or what was your feelings? What went through your mind, your body, your soul when you finally got that acceptance letter?
Okay, well, I think it's easier to answer the second question, but I'll answer that first.
Okay.
I felt in my heart of hearts that first year, there's no reason why I shouldn't get in. That first year? Yes. No, listen. No, honestly, the first year, I was like, there's no way in the world I'm getting denied. There's no way in the world.
Yeah. Me too.
But then the second year, because of the experience from the first year, the second year was even worse because you're like, maybe? But then, my application was 10 times better the second year. I have more grades. I have a stronger letters of recommendation, a stronger personal statement. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know. I don't know how to feel because I know I've been through this process before and it didn't work out the first time. Now, the second question being, how did I feel when I got that acceptance? Overjoyed. I almost threw my phone.
Okay, walk us through because.
Okay. I'll tell you the exact day because I'll never forget it. I was sitting on the porch with my grandparents. I was sitting on the porch with my grandparents, and I get a call from my advisor. Hey, Justin, how you doing? How you feeling? I'm like, I'm feeling good. What's going on? How's everything going in Atlanta? Because I'm back home. Hey, yeah, everything going good up here. I just want to see how you were feeling. I said, okay, I'm feeling good.
Hold on.
I don't know what's going on.
This advisor, this is a special advisor.
Yeah.
It's like playing cat. Is it cat
and
and mouse?
Yeah.
If you get a hold of him, you hold on tight because he ain't answering no phone calls.
Nothing.
He barely
busy.
get back to you.
He's a busy
always
man.
busy.
He got a lot of stuff going on.
If he contacts you, it's for a reason.
Yeah.
And so we had already graduated, so we're already on the edge. So why is he calling me?
Exactly.
So go ahead, continue.
So okay, yeah, I'm looking at my phone. Of course, I pick up. Hey, we had this conversation. I hang up the phone. We say our pleasantry. We say goodbye. I'm like, okay, I'm good. Hang up the phone. All right, okay. I'm like, let me check my email. Maybe let me check my email. Pull up my email. Say offer the admissions offer. Listen, y'all. When I say, I almost threw my phone at the exact moment. In my grandparents' yard is nothing but concrete. I would have destroyed my phone.
What date was this?
This was sometime in May. It was after graduation.
Nah.
It was June.
It was June 4th.
It was June.
This guy knows the exact date.
It was June 4th.
Time,
And when did school
location.
start?
July 1st. So June 4th to July 1st. This is how long we've been waiting. And the only difference for me between me and Onine, I had been accepted to a school. I had been accepted to a school in Moultrie, Georgia, which was, closer to home, but at the same time, I had to change situations. I had started dating someone here in Atlanta.
Ooh.
I didn't want to change all that I had, grown around. And I had bought this jacket. That's the important thing. I bought this jacket preemptively because I was like, I'm getting in.
You just knew.
Hey, you gotta manifest it, y'all. Literally.
This is what I did. I bought this jacket with full faith that I was going to get in. And I was like, I'm not wearing this jacket. Well, okay, I would have worn this jacket at the other school if I had to. But I didn't think that was a good call. So, yeah, I read that letter, the offer. I ran around the house.
You still have it?
Of course. It's in my email inbox right now. When I have a bad day, I'm like, I got it in medical school.
Yeah.
And I'll pull it up and I'll look at it.
That's true. That's a fact.
That's exactly, and I knew at that exact moment, that's everything that I had been pushing for up until that point.
It was all worth it.
It was, every last thing was worth it.
I love that.
Yeah.
Onine, any further questions?
How's med school so far?
It's a thing. Now, when I say I feel like I'm exactly where I should have been, and where I think I should have gotten in. Yes, I'm exactly where I think I should be. Med school is a lot. There's no way to sugarcoat that. It's a lot, but it's doable. That's the main thing. Up until this point, it has been doable.
Expectations versus reality.
Ooh, I think I expected medical school to be harder.
Okay.
And I'm not saying it's easy.
What does that mean?
I'm not saying it's easy, y'all. I'm saying that it's, like I said, it's a lot. It's a lot of info. But I've been through 2 masters.
Harder in terms of concept or just
harder
doing it?
In terms of knowledge. I thought it would be, it's in depth. It's a lot at one time, and it's a lot that goes in depth and what we need to know and how to be great physicians.
We're
and all
just
that.
amongst Mr. Genius here.
It ain't even about that.
That's what it sounds like.
But I've seen the material in multiple forms, in multiple places.
Okay, so now you feel like...
Right now, it's manageable.
Okay.
It's a lot of information. It's a lot of different classes. There's a lot of different avenues that they're teaching us. But it's doable. I'm not saying it's not.
Yeah. I mean, I would say, honestly, nothing can prepare you for the amount of volume you're going to receive.
That's
I don't
for sure.
think any kind of masters, unless you're in some special... But I don't think anything can prepare you for the amount of volume you're going to... The whole analogy, drinking the water hose, it's real.
Yeah.
But it's like you just learn how to open your mouth wider.
Honestly,
You know, but I mean, concept-wise, there's nothing you can't YouTube,
Yeah.
But, you're just going to have to keep watching YouTube videos because there's so many topics you have to keep watching and watching and watching. If you get behind, but, yeah, I mean, but once you get in,
You
none
hear?
of that other stuff matter.
Yeah.
It really
At all.
doesn't. All right. Do we have a timer anywhere? Does anybody have a timer?
Timer,
I got one on my watch.
You gonna time yourself?
I guess. What you trying to ask?
All right. You have 30 seconds to tell.
That's an alarm. Hold on.
this guy don't know how to use his phone, y'all.
Oh,
It's not even a phone.
there it is, right there.
All right. So you have 30 seconds
Yep.
to give your piece of advice to anybody who's watching right now.
Okay.
And go.
All right. Piece of advice: apply early. That was my biggest mistake through all this whole process. Apply early. Get your information in. Surround yourself with people who want to be where you are or who have been through where you are or where you want to go. And make sure you put yourself in a position to succeed. You don't want to be behind the 8 ball and find yourself in a situation where you're struggling. Now I'm trying to find my...
Like he's struggling now.
Like I'm struggling now, but that's my 30 seconds. So
That's
yeah.
30 seconds.
Y'all take it and run with it.
All right, you guys. Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you. As you know, continue to watch, support, share with your pre-med friends. And if you forgot our name, just remember that we are
Men in Black.